All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a skill that honestly is becoming one of the most important things you can learn in our modern world, and that is mastering how we talk to AI.
You've been there, right? You're working with a generative AI, you ask it something, and you get a pretty meh answer. So you go back, you tweak just one or two words in your request, and bam! The new output is absolutely brilliant. How does that happen? This is the central puzzle of AI. It's got all this incredible power, but it's super sensitive to the way we talk to it. So how do we get control?
Well, the answer is this fascinating new field called prompt engineering. And you should think of it less like you're giving a computer a command and more like you're drawing a really detailed strategic roadmap for the AI to follow. It's the skill that closes the gap between what's in our head and what the machine can actually do for us.
Now, I want to be clear, this isn't about just stumbling upon some magic words. No, there's a real science to why this all works, and it really comes down to how an AI sees the words we write.
Okay, so here's the first big aha moment. We see words. We read prompt engineering. But in AI, it sees something called tokens. A token is just the smallest piece of text it can work with. So a single word, like engineering, might get broken down into engine and -ing. And right away, that's a huge clue as to why AI is so incredibly sensitive to our phrasing.
And that token thing leads to the next big piece of the puzzle. You and I, we read sequentially, right? One word after another to build meaning. And AI uses something totally different, called an attention mechanism. You can think of it like this. It looks at every single token in your prompt all at the same time, and it calculates how important each one is in relation to all the others.
So, what does this actually mean for you? It means that when you change just one word, you're not just changing one little piece of information. You're actually changing the entire web of relationships the AI is calculating. And that's how one tiny tweak can cause this massive, nonlinear shift in its focus, leading to a completely different result. That's the science behind the magic.
Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's see how this all works in practice. We're going to try to build a marketing plan for a new coffee shop, and we'll start with a really terrible prompt and make it better step by step.
So we start here. Write a marketing plan for a new coffee shop. I mean, it's a question, but it gives the AI nothing to work with. No name, no city, no target customer. So what do you think we're going to get back? Yep, a super generic, boilerplate response that is pretty much useless.
Okay, let's try our first fix. We're going to add some basic context. Let's give it a name, ShorbornoLABS, a location, a college town, and a target audience. Just by adding these simple details, we've already helped the AI narrow its focus. And suddenly it can give us relevant ideas, like maybe partnerships with student groups. It's better for sure, but we can do a lot more.
Now, this is where things get really powerful. We give the AI a role. We say, you are a seasoned marketing consultant. This instantly guides its tone, the quality of its ideas. We also tell it exactly how we want the answer formatted, as a bulleted list with clear sections. This structure forces it to give us a professional, well-organized output.
And for the final step, we're going to add one simple but honestly game-changing phrase. Let's think step by step. This is a technique called chain of thought prompting. And what it does is it makes the AI explain its reasoning before it gives the final answer. So now we don't just get a plan, we get the strategy behind the plan. And that is so much more valuable for making actual decisions.
So that case study shows you the whole process. But there are a ton of established techniques like these that you can add to your personal toolkit.
Think of this as your little cheat sheet for some of the most effective techniques out there. We just used role prompting and chain of thought, or COT. But there are others. Zero shot is what we did at the very beginning, just a direct command with no examples. It's great for simple tasks. Few shot is the opposite. You actually give it a couple of examples of what you want the output to look like, which is amazing for teaching the AI a custom format. And delimiters, just using symbols like triple quotes to separate your instructions from your data, are absolutely essential for keeping complex prompts clean and easy for the AI to understand.
But you know, all these different techniques, they all point to one final, absolutely critical component in all of this, and that's you.
I absolutely love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. Prompt engineering is not really a coding skill, it's a communication skill. It's about being able to think clearly and then explain what you need with precision. And that means it's a skill that anyone can get really, really good at.
It really all comes together in this kind of dynamic conversation. You give a prompt, the AI gives a response, and then you give feedback by making that prompt even better. This back-and-forth loop is what changes you from someone just passively using a tool into an active collaborator, shaping what the AI creates to perfectly match what you need.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. In a world where these incredible tools are being woven into everything we do, being able to clearly communicate our ideas to an AI, well, it might not just be a useful trick. It might just be one of the most essential and high-impact skills that any of us can learn right now. What do you think?